on songwriters because even though the broadcast is live, there's something wrong with my video. My camera's not working. 300, 36505.
Tom, you're live.
Oh, God. Where's Ray now? You're there. Okay. Shantae, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can start at 107, just start the show over. Or Ray, we could heavily promo this from our end and just do it next Saturday if you can do that, Shantae. So,
Oh, well, we're live right now, Tom.
oh, okay. Well, then let's start the show. I'm so sorry to the audience, to Ray Crabtree. Uh, I have technical difficulties. I'm not sure what's going on at my end. But Ray Crabtree is here. I started out with an opening song like I always do, but I think it went into the ether, and I got a phone call in the middle of it, which kind of threw me off my stroke. So if it's on there or not, I don't know. But at any rate, it's worth not hearing. And the stuff that Ray Crabtree does is worth hearing. And so I would like to introduce from Northwest Ohio region, Lake Erie region, currently living in Oregon, and a well-traveled, well-seasoned musician, played with a lot of bands, has written some songs, and is a good interpreter of the songs of songwriters that he appreciates. So welcome, Ray. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you. I say I was supposed to be here in May, and every month something seems to come up. For awful busy for being retired.
And yeah, well, I'm not retired, but I'm sort of semi-retired, and I think I worked less when I was fully employed. But that's just, when we have the freedom to do what we want to do, we do get busy because we're doing it for ourselves.
Yeah. So
Welcome,
anyway,
welcome to the show, and just a little bit of background. Ray, you've been a musician for how long?
uh, well, I got my first guitar when I was about 8 years old. But I didn't know what to do with it, so I used it as a drum, pretty much. And then my dad worked out at the Sino Railroad. He had some guy come over and tune it for me, and that was a start. And at least I knew, at least it was made some kind of a realistic noise.
Uh-huh.
And then it was a silver tone, and it came with a little book, and it had some how to hold the guitar and how to do this and how to do that. But anyway, um, I learned like one and two finger chords out of that, and then there were some old folk songs that you probably wouldn't want to play now. Some of them were the old uh, who's that guy? Not He did Swanee River and all those. I can't.
Oh, um, yeah, Paul Robeson and
No, no, no. He wrote them.
oh,
Dad wrote.
Stephen Foster.
Yeah, Stephen Foster. It's most Stephen Foster stuff, which wouldn't be appropriate to sing in this day and age. You know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I understand.
But anyway, but I learned. I learned to sing, and then I used to go to the public library and get songbooks out, and yeah, we never never had any lessons or anything. Um, just sort of did things until it sounded almost realistic.
Uh-huh.
I did, and then I got got to playing some a teenager, got to playing some Bob Dylan stuff, and then we went to Catholic schools and stuff, so they were doing the guitar masses then, so we
Mm-hmm.
played some of that kind of stuff. And but when I got into service, I got drafted in the army, went overseas, and one guy was from what the heck was his name? His first name was Charles, but I can't think of his last name offhand. I was stationed with him up in Holland. He was a really good player. He played a lot of bluegrass and stuff like that, and he showed me quite a bit on just how to play leads and things like that a little bit. And then I got to Germany and hooked up with a guy named Manfred Chalkner, and this guy was a seriously good guitar player, and he showed me a lot of stuff that on scales and how to build chords and stuff like that. And then I don't know. So that was kind of my music education. And got back to the States and just started hanging out with people like Joe Martin, who's a saxophone player, and Bobby May, the great guitar player from Walbridge, Ohio. And he's still gigging, I don't know, about 6 nights a week, I think. I mean, he's a guy's just amazing,
He didn't he
73
mentor
years old.
didn't he
Yeah,
mentor Crystal Bauer Sox? Wasn't he one of her
yeah, he was
music?
one of, yeah, he was
So just to
involved in
refresh
that.
people's memory, Crystal Bauer Sox came in number two on American Idol maybe several years back, and has had a really stellar national career ever since, traveling around and singer songwriter. And so she's made a name for herself. And Bobby May is this incredible lead guitarist and musician who Ray has a long history with. So I just want to
Yeah,
mention Crystal's name. She comes from our locale, from
yeah,
northwestern Ohio, Walbridge, Ohio,
Elliston, Ohio.
Elliston, Ohio, and
Yeah,
she was up very close to the top, and in our view, she was the best. And but she's still rocking and traveling the country playing music from Walbridge, Ohio, to the rest of the world, which
yeah.
is what you're doing right now too, Ray. And so, why don't you? What I'm just going to ask you a question.
All right.
Did you want to start with an original? Because you mentioned some of your when you were a teenager starting to play Dylan, and I've heard you play some Dylan. Would you like to start with one of his or one of your own? What's your heart's
Well,
desire?
I could start with one of mine. I wrote about. I think I wrote about 35 years ago, and it was I was in the dark side of alcoholism at the time.
You
So
are
my
now in the fellowship, as I understand.
yeah, 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years
Uh,
sobriety. Good,
yeah, and
congratulations.
but anyway, um, it was it turned out okay. And Bobby May, he had a little to do with one of the helped me put it together just a little bit once I had it kind of sorted out a little bit, and then he's helped me get things straightened around on it some. But anyway, I could start with that if you want, and
Sure,
uh,
sure.
um, so anyway, I'm gonna be. I just have to give a note. I'll be playing a Gibson J200 that my cousin Bernie Lipinski in Toledo gave to me. And I mean, it's just what an incredible gift. And he had bought it, never learned to play it, and uh, I was talking to him, and he said, "Well," I said, "if you ever want to get rid of it, just let me know, and I'll get first dibs on it." And a couple weeks later, it was in the mail,
Great,
and yeah, so
great, cool.
yep, oh yes,
Very
yeah,
nice gift.
yeah, it's just exceptionally nice gift. But anyway, I just want to thank him for this fine instrument. And I'll be playing a Taylor a little bit later on, um, but we'll just start with this one. And here's hoping we don't screw this up too bad. I've been playing out in public a whole lot, so can you hear that? Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. This is called "Wash It All Away," and it's just about
Wash it
uh,
all away. It's called
yeah, it's
wash it.
about being
Okay.
depressed. My wife actually made a painting of the song, which I'm going to move this a little bit. And I'll sit hang here on the wall.
Ah,
That's the painting for "Wash It All Away."
yeah, cool.
Uh,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, she's got talent, something that I kind of lack. But anyway, here it goes, and um, we'll give it a shot. Okay.
Please do.
Okay. Free me from this happiness. Let me loose from this never-ending bliss. Lock me in a room. Throw me the key. Tell no one the address. Please don't tell them where I'll be. Let me have some some solitude. Let me live in peace. I'm gonna buy myself an island in the middle of the sea, where I will sit and look at nothing, think about the same. Something strikes my fancy, well, I'll write it in the sand. Peace be to you all, and have a nice day. And let the wind and the water wash it all away. Wash it all away. Wash it all away. Let me have some solitude. Let me live in peace. I'm gonna spend my time in loneliness and wish my days away. And I will sit and look at nothing, think about the same. Something strikes my fancy, well, I'll write it in the sand. Peace be to you all, and have a nice day. And let the wind and the water wash it all away. Wash it all away. Wash it all away.
I don't know if you can hear my applause, but I'm applauding.
I heard your
And
applause.
oh, good. You know, I like to think of myself as a representative type. If I'm applauding, I'm just representing the thousands of others that would have applauded if they could fit into my office right here.
I've been to your office, and you can fit 3.
Yeah, yeah. This is this is where I do psychotherapy and play music and everything, and it's not really built for audience participation, but wonderful song. How did it help you get through the blues? How did it help
Well,
you?
it didn't. But
Well, I'd like to rephrase the question then. Why? No, I'm sorry, it didn't. Go ahead. I interrupted.
well, no, I just it was when you're at that position in your life, and you got um, the depression and the vicious cycle of drinking and swearing not to, and drinking and swearing not to, and
Hmm.
the problems that it causes with family relationships and friends and at work and everything like that. And personally, I mean, you just internally you lose yourself and just become a hollow shell. Well, anyway, until um, until I joined up with a 12-step program, um, then I was able to leave that all behind and say it's been a very good run. I didn't know you could have this much fun sober, but
Yeah.
but you certainly can. But anyway, uh, enough about my internal problems.
It's just interesting because I do like to push the notion that songwriting can be curing, it can be healing, it can get some emotions out that are riding around inside your head. And so then, that just, that song, Wash It All Away. Uh, Sometimes we can actually write that and then feel that, and we feel like we've washed it away. So anyway, I love the song. It was really well done, and I like the jazz chords and the rhythms, and it hangs together really well. And of course, it suggests arrangements by a band. I could hear what a band could do with that. I could hear horns. I could hear a lot of things. I could hear keyboard and a lot of cool stuff. But great song. Let's move on now. And could you honor my Dylan request?
Well, yeah, if you want a Dylan thing, I can do that. I happen to have one right here, one that Dylan, oddly enough, didn't do very often. But my favorite Dylan stuff. I mean, he's to this day. I mean, he's still cranking stuff out. He's 80 some years old now. But his original, I like the troubadour type material that Dylan did. Is probably my favorite, and I want to add that Neil Young also his troubadour type stuff um, is my favorite of his. Not that I don't like the other stuff, but if but that's my favorite stuff.
Well, you have to ask how many of us who play guitar and write songs, what debt we owe to those two who were, they kind of set the formula. They kind of set the way to go, and they inspired so many of us to say, hey, three chords and words, maybe I could do that too. So yeah, I think we're all vast. Anybody that does this singer songwriter thing is, you can't, if you don't have any sense of the debt we owe to Dylan and Neil Young, then you should listen to him again. And you might
Well,
find
especially
that,
the early stuff. Back
yeah,
from back in the '60s and maybe even in the early '70s, but for sure the '60s
yeah.
when they were doing their solo acoustic stuff. And it's just they're both the one album that Bob Dylan did. I think it's just titled Bob Dylan, has a blue cover on it, and it's, if I remember correctly, it's all just him and a guitar and a microphone or harmonica.
It wasn't freewheeling Bob Dylan, was it, or was it the first
No, I think it was just
first
called Bob Dylan.
first album was called Bob Dylan? Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
then there
Anyway,
was, yeah.
this was on that. Somebody else made it more popular, but anyway, we're gonna give this one a shot. But we may have to switch guitars. I don't know if I can sing it this high anymore.
If that's going to take a minute to do, go ahead and
No,
take your
no,
minute.
I'm just sitting right here.
Okay, yeah.
Go away from my window, leave at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. You say you're looking for someone never weak but always strong, to protect you and defend you, whether you are right or wrong. Someone open each and every door. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for. Go lightly from the ledge, babe. Go lightly from the ground. I'm not the one you want, babe. I only let you down. You say you're looking for someone who will promise never to part, someone to close his eyes for you, someone to close his heart, someone who will die for you and more. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for. Go melt back into the night, babe. Everything inside is made of stone. There's nothing in here moving, and anyway I'm not alone. You say you're looking for someone to pick you up each time you fall, to gather flowers constantly, and to come each time you call. A lover of your life and nothing more. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for. It ain't me you're looking for.
Very nice. It's a great song. It was a hit for Johnny Cash, and June Carter had a hit
Excuse
with
me.
it. Bless you, my friend. It
Well, those
was,
are the high notes for you.
yeah, and the Turtles. The Turtles had a hit with it. uh,
That's right.
Johnny and June, um, and yeah, I don't know if that was a single for Dylan or not. That was, but you're
No.
right. That was in the early days, the early, when albums were just coming in, and when you bought, of course he had hit singles, but with Dylan, that was one of the introductions to, you have to listen to all the songs. You can't, you can't just listen to one of these songs. This guy's got something to say. You have to listen to all the songs, and then that kind of like, you know, concept albums, Sergeant Pepper's. There's threads of connection through all these things. So I think all of us were moving from 45 single discs, vinyl, uh, 45 hits on the top 40, to a little deeper level of, these people are. This is. Listen to what he's saying. We're good with each other, girl, but don't expect me to solve your problems. Was not the kind of sentiment that was pop music was pushing out. It was just Moon and June and Bloom, and Frankie Avalon, all these people. There were some good ones, but there were, Dylan came along and introduced us to, you got to listen. You got to listen now, pay a little bit more attention.
Yeah, he really kind of brought the whole Greenwich Village folk music to the general populace. Out to at the time AM radio. I mean, that was before FM was really a thing. And yeah, you say you get a lot of those were still mono. Those
Hmm.
records weren't even in stereo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I fell in love with his stuff. But I back in the 50s, I was just a kid. But I remember watching American Bandstand and seeing the guys, and they'd be up there and they're playing guitar. Now they're just playing along with tape,
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
and
It was
and
guitar
I just
sync.
and I had my little guitar, and I just simply couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it to sound like that. Why does mine sound so much different? I want to sound like that. And then on the radio, people like Link Ray and Dwayne Eddy and some of those guys, Dick Dale. I mean, they really lit up the guitar a lot, with their
can't can't say
electric
Link
stuff.
Ray. Can't say Link Ray enough to me. He needs to be reintroduced to this generation
Yeah,
of musicians and guitarists. They need to know about Link Ray. Uh, uh, the guy of the Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, has been preaching the gospel of Link Ray forever. That
yeah,
he was not, that Link Ray was one of the first ones he recognized, that it was Link Ray's persona. Link Ray put, it was his voice on the guitar. It wasn't
right.
like anybody else's. He made the guitar be the voice of Link Ray. And so yeah, there's a movie about him. I'm going to look it up, and before we're done, I'm going to cue the give a heads up about a documentary about Link Ray. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just, when you
No, no,
said
no,
Link
no,
Ray, I
no.
said
That's
that's.
fine. I always like visiting with you. Anyway, now my dad was from West Virginia, and he loved the old country music. My grandfather did too, and a lot of that old stuff. I mean, they had some just absolutely stunning guitar players.
Yes, yeah.
And and we could, living in East Toledo, we had a little AM radio, old tube one, and you could pick up some of like the Chicago or Buffalo stations, on the clear channel ones, and you'd get the old the black stations, and they'd have, that's my first introduction to like the blues and things like that, and listening to. I couldn't even tell you. Probably, John Lee Hooker and those kind of guys. But I mean, I didn't know at the time who they were, and but I just loved that. I mean, sit and listen to it. And I had no idea, because in Toledo, Ohio, you just didn't hear that on radio.
Toledo, Ohio. You and I are both from Toledo, Ohio. We've
Yeah,
both been gone and here and there around the country a lot. You're a biker who travels and has traveled the country many times, getting in your bike and doing round trippers and still doing that to some extent. So you're a traveling man who also has that slice of home that you can go back to, but a well-seasoned traveler. And yeah, the the Toledo, Ohio. You know, there's the Akron song with the Pretenders. All these towns emerge and it's like, oh, this is the new center. But all those Ohio towns like Cleveland, Toledo, Akron, they all had rock and roll scenes. I mean, that area, Toledo, Ohio, is 50 miles from Detroit and close to Ann Arbor, Michigan, 50 miles from that as well. New York's here, Chicago's there, just down Highway 80. And all these influences are shared by all these northwestern Ohio towns. You know, the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Lake Erie. The Akron sound is just 40 miles from Lake Erie. When that Akron and the Black Keys and all those people were coming out of Akron, oh, this is the new place. This is the new Nashville. It wasn't, but nonetheless, a lot of bands came out of there. So the rock scene that you and I know about that we came out of was rich. It was a very fulsome place for rock and roll,
Yeah.
rhythm and blues. CKLW radio was 5,000 watts of, and so that was our influences. What do you want to bring up from those times that you want to play from it for us?
Ooh, bring up from those times. Uh,
Anything else? I don't mean to put you on the spot. You can come from any time with any kind of music, but
yeah,
I'm
but
just
I'm thinking I don't. The only. Well, when I was playing with the different, like we played a wedding band, and you played almost anything with that. People would request all kinds of stuff, but I don't. I need charts for all that. That
yeah.
was in the 1980s that we did that, and I could probably fumble through a couple things, but I don't have the words and everything with me. But anyway, Johnny and the Hurricanes is from Toledo, and Tom Schultz from Boston. He's from Toledo, and Greg
Mannheim Mannheim Steamroller guy. What's his name?
he's from out Sylvania. Tom
Yeah,
Schultz
yeah,
was from Ottawa Hills.
yeah.
I think
Yeah, it's a
Johnny,
rich area. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Johnny Pierce was from Rossford, I believe. So anyway,
Yeah,
there's a
it's got
lot of music from that area.
very
Uh,
rich jazz history there too. John Hendricks, okay, Lambert Hendricks and Ross, and I'm
well,
forgetting
Art
the
Tatum.
Art Tatum, groundbreaking pianist of the 1920s.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a rich culture, and I know that Bob Seger from Detroit, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, um, some of those. Toledo was like one of their favorite stops because they were unqualifiedly loved in Toledo. So oftentimes Seeger would say, "I want to start in Toledo or end in Toledo because I
yeah,
know that show is going to go well." And it's just like leaving Detroit and heading south. I mean, sometimes they'd be flying west and Toledo would be nowhere in their itinerary, but it was a trial place for new material. It wasn't Chicago, it wasn't Cincinnati. It was Toledo, smaller. So let's try this song there and see how it goes. And of course, Toledo will love Seeger doing anything, songs they've never heard of or songs he's doing for the
yeah.
first time.
Like to hear him doing like My Funny Valentine or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
My Funny Valentine.
you do a Tom Waits song that I've always loved. Um,
Yeah, I like some Tom Waits too. He's very good, but he's more like back to what we first started talking about. He's more like the troubadour kind of player, or persona anyway, and that's what I've always liked. Uh,
how about the girl he doesn't want catching her death of cold outstanding in the rain?
oh yeah, that one.
What about that one?
Well, we can give it a shot here, okay?
Yeah, and also if you've already rehearsed or done some things you want to present instead of the things I'm asking for, just say no. I'd rather do this one instead, and I'm sure I'll love it. But I've always loved your version of this song. I always thought it was great.
Yeah, I'll try to remember all the words to it here. Here we go.
Okay.
How does it start out? Evening.
Uh,
I got it here. Evening fell just like the star, left a trail behind. You spit as you slammed out the door. This is love, we're crazy. You know, we fight like cats and dogs. But no, there's got to be more. Please call me baby, wherever you are. It's too cold to be out walking the streets. Ooh. There we go. Crazy things when we're wounded. Everyone's a bit insane. I don't want you catching your death the cold. Out walking in the rain. I forgot that, Tom. I'm not going to be able
okay, well, it was, you get an
to.
idea.
Sorry.
You get an idea of the chord work and the up and
Yeah,
down. But
just
yeah, that's that. I didn't ask you to do some 3/4 that you could have popped off. I asked you to do something that you probably haven't done for a while with complex chord work. So I take
well,
that
it's not the chord work. It's the lyrics. I
the
can't.
lyric. I take back the request, Ray, and I
I'll
just
tell you
want
what. I'll play it if you sing it. How's that sound?
to. It sounds like there'd be a 3-second lapse. Um,
Well, you know, already got a little echo. Just add a little reverb. You know.
there you go, and then we're metal. So just do whatever you want to do. Hit me with
Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
whatever you want to do.
Like I say, I've actually written a couple of songs. I haven't really written many songs in my life. But this is one that I remember. Mudfoot, right? Uh, Still there? Oh, Tom.
I just picked up my coffee, Ray, and in the process ripped the earbuds out of my ears, so I went
Okay.
silent for a while. Whatever you were saying, I'm sure it was brilliant. I
No, it
also,
wasn't. I said I'm asking you if you remember Mudfoot.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
I kind
who
of
was his partner?
wrote. Yeah, I kind of wrote this with him in mind, and hopefully, in fact, I ran into him last year up in Livingston, Montana, of all places. But if I ever get with him, I'm going to be able to try to get him to sing this one because it's right up his alley, you know. So
Great harmonica player.
yeah, oh
Great,
yeah, and singer too, you know,
yeah, yeah,
and one of the funniest guys you'll ever want to meet.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Uh, Excuse me. So we're gonna give this a shot, and um, okay, here we go. This is I had to bring different guitar out. It's tuned a little lower, so it's tuned to a D.
Okay.
I see you walking out my front door. I see you walking out my front door. You know you walk out that door, you ain't coming back no more. I see you walking on down the street. I see you walking on down the street. You know the cats on the street, they look at you like you fresh meat. I see you standing on the corner, looking for a ride. See you standing on the corner, looking for a ride. You know the man in the big car, he come up and he set you down inside. man in the big car, you know he got a gun. You know the man in the big car, you know he got a gun. You know he like to play games, and you ain't gonna have no fun. You know he like to play games, and you ain't gonna have no fun. Or something like that.
All right. Yeah, nice bluesy feel, a fast drum, and nice song, good lyrics. I'm not going to make any more requests, and because that was good. I think if you just go with what you want to do, that we're going to hear some fine music. Not that we haven't already, but that was a good one. I like that one a lot, Ray.
Yeah, that was it. Just kind of a little thing I say. I could hear the. Tell you where I was doing this for a while. I used to go around out at Pearson Park, which is one of
Beautiful Metro
a
Park.
little
Yeah.
park out in Oregon, Ohio, and the outside track is 3 miles, and I'd walk that every night. Sometimes with a friend, and sometimes by myself. By myself, I could write a song in 3 miles.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least get the basic
Yeah.
of it down, and then it'd
Yeah.
take a little while to put it together. But then most of them I just threw out because they just weren't worth. But it was a good exercise for my head, you know. But that was. I'm gonna get this one out, and this is one that we did fairly recently, and that I mean within the last 6 months or so, maybe I don't know, last fall maybe. But anyway, this spring, I was over at my son's house. He lives about a mile from us, and we were leaving, and my wife had these red gloves she was putting on, and his girlfriend said something about, well, you need a red scarf with that, and I just started it from there. And so this is just it's a love song, I guess is what you could call it. But anyway, my good friend Mark Carmel, who you may or may not remember, great singer, guitar player, songwriter, and my former fearless leader at Owens College. He actually put the music to this. I sent him the lyrics, and he just was, oh man, and he put the lyrics to it, and or the music to it, and the phrasing and stuff like that. So this is actually kind of a combination of Mark Carmel and Ray Crabtree. So if it ever when it hits number one, both names will be on the record.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
It's titled "Red Scarf," I think. She wore a red scarf. She wore red gloves. She looked good with nothing else on. She had a red car. It had a red tie. She looked good driving with her Ray-Bans on. The blue sky clashed nicely with the night in her eyes. The blue sky clashed nicely with the night in her eyes. She looked inviting, all swathed in red, laying comfortably canopy bed. We got together under a red-faced moon. We spend evenings rewriting this tune. The blue sky clashed nicely with the night in her eyes. The blue sky clashed nicely with the night in her eyes. The blue sky clashed nicely with the night in her eyes. The blue sky clashed nicely with the night in her eyes. There you go.
Nice, nice imagery. Yeah, I see her driving down the street. I certainly saw the scarf and the nothing else on. That was a good visual image. Yeah, nice song, nice song.
Yeah,
Keep them
like I
coming.
say, thank Mark Carmel for the music and chords and stuff for that too.
Well,
So
well, beautifully put together. Yeah, and I just want to hear some more. We've got 14 minutes. So I just want to hear some more. Can you lay another one on us?
14 minutes, huh? Uh,
I mean, it doesn't have to be a 14-minute song.
well, it might have to be. um,
Extend the lead.
okay, this is another. This is kind of one of those talking songs. And once again, it was a Pearson Park walk around the park tune from I don't know about we've been here about 9 years ago, whatever it is. But anyway, uh, it was I think you and I talked about it once about trying to do material that's more suited for people our age. I mean, most of the top 40 stuff and this and that, it's all written for teenagers and young people and things. But you just don't have songs that much written for geezers. So so this is a geezer song.
Okay.
Okay, word I think it's called Mugshot Tattoo. Mugshot tattoo. Background checks and police file. A mugshot tattoo of you on my arm. This is no TV courtroom drama. No Tarantino movie where the dead get up and go home. 40 years I've been running this race. Say 40 long years I've been hiding my face. Now I've got one more withdrawal to make. And on my boat slip away, leaving a wake and no trace. This is my last note to
God
you.
damn it. I'm
I
on the
will
radio.
always remember I have this tattoo. It's fortunate you were never a child. We were too crazy, our lives too dangerous and wild. leaving you behind. But the prison walls are too hard to climb. But when you're free, I'll be dead and gone. I'm old and tired, and my love will not last long. There you go.
Wow, that was great lyrics and great guitar work. I love the guitar work, and any if you want to keep on in that vein, you were rocking. It seems like, I wish we could go another half hour because you're in the pocket now. I can really feel that you're. That just was so smooth. I love that. Great song, great lead lines.
Well, thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
let's have another one. We got, these good stuff.
Well, let's see. Trying to think if I got any more. I think that's all I got.
I love that. How that suggests the rhythm section. That last song, I could just hear a drum line on that, and I'm imagining a bass line, and it would be, everybody could be kind of busy on their instruments, and it would work. That just that fast drumming and the, just basic boogie. Everybody can work their fingers a lot, or their sticks, and it opens up a lot of possibilities for movement. That would be a great song to orchestrate, to get at least a rhythm section behind it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it needs horns and all that kind of stuff. Is what it really needs. I'll do a Neil Young thing here. I got to get the words up for it.
Sure.
What's it called? It's actually on my iPad, which is what I'm going through here. And problem is that then I would lose I'd lose this stuff here, So we got it on my phone.
Okay.
So, and yeah, I guess we'll try it with this. Does that sound in tune?
Yeah.
Okay. Comes a time when you're drifting. Comes a time when you settle down. Comes a life, feelings lifting. Lift that baby right up off the ground. Oh, this world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. You and I, we were captured. We took our souls and we flew away. We were right. We were giving. That's how we kept what we gave away. Oh, this world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. Comes a time. Comes a time when you're drifting, comes a time when you settle down, comes a light, feelings lifting, lift that baby right up off the ground. Oh, this world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time, comes a time, comes a time.
Lovely. Ray, we've got a few minutes. Do you have a song that when you're performing, you think of your lovely wife, Kathy, or a song you dedicate to her or anything? Am I putting you on the spot here? Or is
Well,
there
there's one, but it's long.
is it,
But I'll play it, you know.
why don't we play it and, we could do a fade out? I don't know. We just play it. We'll figure that out. But
Yeah, okay. I gotta get let me get the lyrics for this one now. It's
okay.
another Bob Dylan song. That's one that she likes me to sing. My voice is cracking. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but having a little trouble.
We'll do what's comfortable to sing. And the Dylan
Well,
song,
yeah, that's
going out on a Dylan song would be just fine with us.
yeah. Um, see, I don't sing a lot, and that's a. Uh-oh, was that?
That was a phone call. I forgot to turn my phone off. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
This is one that yeah, I can just knock down a couple of the verses, so we'll be all right.
Okay.
Crimson flames tied to my ears, rolling high and mighty tracks. Pounced with fire on flaming roads, using ideas as my maps. We'll meet on edges soon, said I, proudly pleaded brow. Ah, but I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. Half-right prejudice lead forth, rip down all hate, I scream. Lies in life are black and white, spoke from my skull I dream. Romantic backs of musketeers, foundation deep somehow. Oh, but I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. In a soldier's stance, I aim my hand at the mongrel dogs who teach. Fearing not I become my enemy in the instance that I preach. My pathways led by confusion boats, mutiny from stern to bow. Oh, but I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. Oh, but I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. There you go.
And that takes us right to the end of the show. Some people might be listening now, but the show will be on YouTube and visible through Yuba Sutter Arts Facebook page. We'll be sharing this with our friends, and their friends will be sharing it, and so you'll be seen and heard by more people than are seeing and hearing you today. And it's something you can share with your friends. Thank you so much. This is a delight. I'll be in touch with you, my friend. We'll be getting together again. Thanks for your music, and stick with us backstage. But we're signing off now, and that ends the show. And I think we're back in the